for quite a few years now. I kind of first remember running into him a little over 10 years ago, and at that time he had some good concepts, and from there on he had some good devices. And what has impressed me most about Paul, who comes from this part of Utah, is that he builds and he builds and he keeps building no matter what. And he's been through an awful lot of flack, as he'll probably mention in his talk, and he's still building. And he's also teaching other people how to build now. And his technology is just fantastic. And I don't care what anybody says about him, because there have been things said. We know that. He's still building. And he's one of the most honest and straightforward people I've ever met. So here's Paul Pantone. You're all wired?
I'm wired for sound. Do I get the portable, or am I supposed to
just use
this
that
fine?
one.
Okay. For some of you that have followed us across the last 26 years, there's two people that have shown up here today that I haven't seen in a while. Patrick, you showed up at my house a week after we had a little accident there. It wasn't really an accident. We were testing the direction of air hitting the surface of water during detonation, and it left a big hole in the backyard. But we were able to prove that 8 ounces of water can leave one heck of a hole and blow out all your windows. It really wasn't a mistake. We were testing. We wanted to see what water would do. So we have found that it's a lot easier to transport 8 ounces of water than it is 3 sticks of dynamite, so you don't need dynamite. Water's a lot better and safer to carry. But back then we were running engines on crude oil. I was trying to get gasoline to have less and less pollution. I succeeded. Then crude oil, paint thinner, cleaning solvents, waste products. We were able, in some of the videos we have, we were able to actually have cleaner air coming out the exhaust pipe than the air in the room we were breathing. And when you can produce 21.1 to 25% oxygen out the tailpipe, and you're in a room with 19–20% oxygen, that's not bad. With no carbon monoxide, no carbon dioxide. I'll have to keep turning to see what we're showing. But during all of these years of testing, we kept trying to get cooperation. And it took all these years to finally realize it isn't just the US government. It is all the other governments out there where there's politicians that are getting part of that road tax. And they really don't want that technology. We don't want volume. We don't want any volume on those, just the pictures. This car here, this truck here, had a wooden carburetor on it, and the wooden carburetor's at our booth. We've had a lot of fun with it, because when people looked under the hood and they see a little 5-inch by 5-inch box made of wood, they have a difficult time fathoming that a piece of wood can be used as an automotive part. We've made them out of glass, plexiglass. We've made the reactor pipes out of glass. But that scared the mechanics, because when they can look into the reactor and they see lightning bolts shooting through the vapor, as the cold vapor is being pulled to the engine by the vacuum of the engine, the hot exhaust leaving the engine, you see a lightning storm. And the first thing they think is lightning, gasoline vapor, boom. And they run. It's totally safe. Lightning in a vacuum does not make sound and will not detonate the vapor. So we have to control the vacuum. To date, we have 197 discoveries. Rather than me trying to manufacture parts for each and every person who wants them, and then trying to have a security system, and what's worse is trying to ship the parts, because every time we ship plans or parts, if it has GEET or our company name or my name on it, no guarantee the parts are ever going to get to you. We shipped 13 generators to one man in Oklahoma City by UPS. 9 of them arrived. UPS didn't even look for the other ones. They just said, oh, they disappeared. Mail disappears like that. How many people here get email that can be sent from one desk to the other in the same room that can take up to 21 days for delivery? We do. Somebody gets our mail, they look through it, we know they do. A lot of the times, we don't get mail for days. We did the Jeff Rent show a while back. I was told 5 million people out there were listening. Well, 10 minutes into the program, I guess nobody knew but the audience that there was no audience. It got shut off. It was never an archive show, but just that 10 minutes produced 10,000 plus hits on my website in 1 hour. My numbers went pretty high that month, but no email came in. Now, how many people are going to get 10,000 hits an hour and nobody's going to write you an email? Well, 3 days later, I was getting upset because I wasn't getting email in, so I wrote out a letter to a few people and said, go ahead and release the water plans worldwide. I think the government's messing with me and I'm not going to put up with it. An hour later, all of a sudden, my mailbox was full. I got thousands of emails, just one on top of another. But I promised people a long time ago I wasn't going to get taken out. We have 250 sites worldwide that are to give away those plans. If anything happens to me, they try to shut me down, give away the water plans to everybody on earth you can get it out to. Make copies of it and send it to everybody else. That way we won't need their oil, we don't need their gas stations, they won't have road tax. And I don't know, how many of you in here think you would want a utility bill next month if you could run your own generator off water? We've held that off the market because we didn't want to hurt the world economies. We want to clean up the planet. I don't want to be in business. I want to be a teacher and a gatherer. 3 inventors in the last 48 hours came to me and said, we would like you to market our technology. And they haven't shown it to anyone else here. So we've gathered about 600 of these people that don't want to be public. They don't want to get up here at the podium and talk. They want to get it out there. So I'm going to concentrate on putting together a book. And for anybody who still signs up today or tomorrow for the student program, it's $1,500. I'll teach you the 197 discoveries we now have and any future discoveries we gather in the next year. And we will entertain working with you a license so that you can take that technology for commercial use in your neighborhood. But the one way to make sure you won't get stopped is don't use the name Paul Pantone on it. Don't use the name GEET on it. It's going to be Harry's shop or Helen's shop. It can be an emission control system. It can be just better mileage. But we need to get this out at grassroots level. And we don't want anyone saying, oh, there's another GEET shop over here, man, because they're going to be looking for that. So what I'm teaching in those plans is how to buy the pieces and parts from hardware stores, how to make your own parts, so you don't have to order any of those from me. Any of you who are interested in the program, let me know later today or tomorrow morning. Once we close down there and we're not going to be training anyone else, we will not be answering any more emails of people that want to sign up later. We have to know about it by tomorrow. And Molly and I are going to step back for a while. We need to, well, Molly will still be doing Miss Molly products. But I'm going to step back for a while and concentrate on writing some science books. If we can't get them into the public school system, we need to get it into the homeschool system. If 197 discoveries so far, and 4 more I haven't looked at that just came in, means that we can have free energy and freedom, it's a lot more than just starting an engine on pickle juice, which is fun. Oh, we're still in, okay. Let's go to the pictures of some of the discoveries. Go ahead, one more picture, one more of the movies, and then we'll go to the discoveries. No, just cut that one off, go to the next movie. Steve Ellswick, years ago, 15 years ago, invited me to the first conference. It wasn't his, it was the Global Sciences with Dean Stoner. And from that point on, we met with different types of people from all over the world. And at the beginning, 99% of the people out there couldn't believe it was possible. And at that first show, we even ran one of the engines on battery acid. Zero pollution. We ran it here locally for chem laboratories. Zero pollution. They called back saying it was a bad test. We have to do it again because there was no pollution coming out the tailpipe. And that's impossible. So we can't use these results. Well, universities now in Europe are teaching the technology or portions of it. One gentleman, Christophe Martz in Paris, is now teaching it at a university in Paris. He's the first engineer in the world to get an engineering degree in GEET technology. So the technology is real. It is accepted in foreign countries and rejected in the United States. During the first 3 years Molly and I were together, we got calls from all over the world. And one after another, these scientists said they wrote letters to the Nobel Prize Committee saying we should get the prize, we should get the prize. People in Europe feel that way. The people in the education system here, they can't talk about it. We're not allowed to have it on campus. If you come by the booth, we do have some newspaper articles of 2 young boys that built a unit running on pickle juice and Windex. Yeah, go ahead and put that one on. This is at Steve's conference a few years ago.
Soda to get a bit of a jolt? Well, now it seems that Mountain Dew can also give a jolt enough to power up an engine. No kidding, folks. This engine is powered mostly by Mountain Dew along with a bit of gasoline. It's just one of the displays at the Exotic Research Conference 2000. The exhibit features many inventions like this lawnmower engine designed to run on alternative fuels and significantly reduce pollution.
Cars, being able to get 100 miles to the gallon. How about semis that can get 30 or 40 miles to the gallon? Or motorcycles, where you only have to fill it up once every 4 fill-ups. We have the ability to clean up our planet. We have
If you look at every one of them
through Sunday, what do you think about that? An engine powered by Mountain Dew.
If you look at all the videos we've done over the years.
Should I attempt that one more time?
Sure.
Hang on a second, I'm going to close maybe. Here we go.
Okay.
Do you drink a soda to get a bit of a jolt? Well, now it seems that Mountain Dew can also give a jolt enough to power up an engine. No kidding, folks. This engine is powered mostly by Mountain Dew along with a bit of gasoline. It's just one of the displays at the Exotic Research Conference 2000. The exhibit features many inventions like this lawnmower engine designed to run on alternative fuels and significantly reduce pollution.
Go ahead and turn the volume down all the way. Okay. We went down and tried to get the news coverage in Phoenix, and nobody else down at that show could get cameras in, so they finally came up with the idea, let's have fun fuels. We're going to pour in Mountain Dew, folks. And they call it crazy inventions, but it brought cameras in. We're always used as entertainment, but not as something serious. They don't want to cover the serious aspect of, at the beginning of the news, let's get double or triple the mileage. That is not good policy for government and your sponsors, the oil companies. We took a 2-hour video that was done of us to public broadcasting, showed it over at Warner Brothers Studios. Warner Brothers wanted to see their name at the front of it, produced at Warner Brothers Studios. But after public broadcasting, Christian broadcasting, and Discovery saw it, and they said, we're not going to put this on. Don't you know who's our sponsor on all these shows? Oil companies, car companies, the government. We start showing stuff like this, we're in trouble. So the resistance factor of trying to get it out in the media in big ways is tremendous. But doing it through little mom and pop shops hasn't been a problem. So anyone who wants to learn how to put it on for their own personal use, you can come get the school package. It's good for you and your family. It's a one-time fee, or you can get a license and work with us down the road with all updates. Talk to us anytime later today or tomorrow. I'm going to turn the rest of this hour over to my wife, Molly, to talk about her products. This is the first time we did not bring an abundance of products, cars and trucks, out and put them on display, because we're not going to be making any more public displays after tomorrow. We're going to go behind closed doors and deal with those who have come forward and said, we want to work together. So for all the people in the past who want to come together now and say, hey, since I can't set up a shop, I want to be part of the new group and go forward, we'll be writing up agreements with them as quickly as possible. But right now, let's get the lights on and put Molly in here.
Wow, it's good golly, Miss Wally. The switch there. Okay.
Am I on? Yeah, okay. When I met Paul, I thought, geez, it's wonderful if you have all these products that can clean up the environment, make you get better mileage, make our planet cleaner. And as we traveled around, I started running into people, and my daughter-in-law brought me my first purple plate. She was, let's get it over here so I can do this. Anyway, she brought me a purple plate, and she goes, here, this will help you with pain. Well, this girl was so far out there. She lived on Pluto. And when her and my son split up, I was tickled pink because I couldn't see her ever being a decent mother to a child. But I threw it in my purse, and I didn't think anything more about it. Well, we get down to a Tesla conference a couple months later, and we'd woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do our live radio broadcast, went to a conference where there was no place for the people with booze to sit, and so I was on my feet, and I was miserable. I've been operated on over 20 times. I've died 3 times in surgery, and I'm very proud to say I'm a healthy 52. But I looked at the purple plate that day. Now, I didn't come and tell you anything about it. She told me that it originated from Nikola Tesla. Well, I pulled this purple thing out of my purse, and I say, fine. And I mean, I'm walking like this. It was horrible. And I stuck it back on the back of my, in my pants. About 20 minutes later, I'm walking around going, hey, this thing's incredible. Well, we traveled on through, we were touring, we traveled on through Texas, through the South, Georgia, and when in Texas, this woman, I also was given one other disc, a small disc like this at the same show. Well, this woman said she had a brain tumor while we were in Texas. And I handed her the disc. I said, I've got this one. And she put it to her forehead for just a few seconds. And tears started running out of her eyes. And I said, what? She says, it's the first time in 12 years I haven't had a headache. I said, well, I got this one. You can have that one. I'll find out where I can get them. And on through the South, these people tried to buy my purple plate from me. I didn't know where I could get them. I didn't know anything about them except that it was helping me with pain. And these other guys, when they had tried it, helped them with pain. And I refused. I said, no, that was mine. Nobody's getting this one. And I got into Florida, and there was a baby with spina bifida. This baby was 18 months old. She was so twisted, when she would pull herself up at the coffee table, she walked on the tops of her feet. Well, this little girl was just look at her, it was heartbreaking. I handed her the purple plate, and she grabbed it, and she just lit up like a light globe, and then she started giggling. Well, when I looked at the parents are crying. I'm going, what? And they said in her short little life, they'd only ever seen fleeting smiles, and they never heard her laugh. That baby got my purple plate. There was no way. They tried to give me money for it. I would not take the money because that baby had suffered more than her share already in her short little life. Well, coming back across the country, we finally get back to Arizona, and I find out that the purple plates are right in Phoenix, where the first place I started using them. And I got to meet Ralph Bergerstrom. I spent 2 full afternoons with him, and he told me how he had met Nikola Tesla. He was an FBI agent set out to take out Nikola Tesla, find him, and turn him over to the government. And so I spent these 2 days with him. He says he was really good at his job. He hid Nikola out in his 2nd bedroom, while in the living room they're having conversations of how elusive Nikola was. This was quite close to Ralph's death, but I started selling the product. It helps about 95% of the people. There are people that it doesn't do anything for. Paul said it never did anything for him for years. Well, so I put a 12 by 12 underneath his side of the bed. If you guys remember him, he used to look like Santa Claus. He had pure white hair and beard. He got up one morning, was trimming his beard back, and he noticed all this hair coming in, or his mustache, of his natural color. He had to end up shaving his beard because it looked so funky. And his hair is not as pure white. And I mean, it was pure white. When my sisters come to the conference, they go, "Where's Paul?" And they wanted to know what I'd done to him, because he used to look like Santa Claus. He was so white-haired. And another time, he had twisted his foot, and he wasn't going downstairs. He was just going across from the bedroom into the office and going downstairs just for dinner at night. And I says, "I don't want to hear it. Put this in your shoe and just shut up. It's here, use it." The next day he says, "Well, I've been favoring my left foot so much that my right ankle hurts today and my left foot don't hurt at all." So it eventually, if will work, even my daughter said it didn't help her at first, but children and elderly feel it the most and get the most benefit because they're not looking through life with binders on, and most elderly have gone and know that anything is possible and have given up on doctors and the status quo. Another one of the products from this is, from Ralph, is the fridge freshener also. You put this in your refrigerator for 24 hours, you have to turn your refrigerator down. It takes less energy now to keep your refrigerator cold. But the most amazing thing is that your food lasts longer. We've had guests this week at our house, and I was making tuna fish sandwiches, and I'd forgotten that back in the crisper I had some lettuce. The lettuce happened to be 2 months old. And there was a brown leaf on the outside that I had to throw away. It was still crisp, moist. Celery can last 2.5 to 3 months. One guy put 13 oranges in his fridge, and every month he would take one out. On the 13th month, he says the last orange was a little dehydrated, but it was sweet and juicy and delicious. So it is amazing what it does for food, and there's less waste. And when you're in and out, and it seems like everything spoils faster these days, and to have something that really helps, it's amazing. My sister, along with her fridge freshener, was using a purple plate whenever she'd put something without a bag in it, like she'd cut a pepper in half. She'd just set the purple plate and put it in her fridge. She'd gone to Arizona to visit my other sister, and she found that on the way back, she went, "Oh, that pepper's been in the fridge for 3 weeks. Oh, not even a bag over it." So she really expected to have a nasty mess when she walked in her house. The pepper was delicious. We've also, if you ever get a burn with a purple plate, now the worst burn I've had several burns that the purple plate's been amazing with. The worst one was, we had Paul's son there, and we was all joking back and forth, and I was getting dinner out of the oven. Had the oven open and doing a couple things. I grabbed the frying pan without a heating pad, and I picked it up enough that the food spilled back into the oven. I'd burned my whole hand. I took the purple plate, put it on my hand, put some ice with it, and there was burn there for about 6 hours. The next day, I left Preston, Idaho, drove to Price, Utah, which is about 5.5 hours to get down there, and my hand was a little slick. 1 month later, the skin peeled off, but it never blistered, and there was initial pain, but that was, as soon as I got the ice on it and the plate, it had mellowed it out. Another time, I left part of my flesh on the top of my oven trying to put a turkey in next to a ham. That one, because I got it right on, it was better in 3 days. Where the skin had been pulled off me had new skin and had completely healed in a matter of 3 days. The purple plates are just a phenomenal thing. Now, I use Sunny Ward's LP10 and Crystal Heart fructose. I am here to verify, and I have medical tests of my heart, that in 1995 I had a 70, a 30, and a 20% blockage from when they jabbed me in the heart with adrenaline to make me live, because my heart quit during the surgeries. I did the fructose, or the LP10, and now we're doing the fructose because it does work faster. I did it for only a year. And I felt like I was having little heart attacks. Well, what it was really doing was the nerves were coming back to life in the heart when it was sloughing off the last of the scar tissue. The doctors got in there. There was no scar tissue. There was no buildup. There was no hardening of the arteries and aging that they had found in 1995. And that is just after 1 year. We say that it has intelligence, and it goes to where your body needs it the most. The stuff is incredible. And now I can see scars. I'm a person that scars welt up, and they stick up 1/4 of an inch and are just really ugly. I'm not afraid to wear something like this now because the scars are lightening up and they're going inside. And in some of the surgeries, there's places as wide as a finger or 2 fingers where the scars are completely going away. I think everybody on the planet should be on this. It will rejuvenate you to what you were when you were younger. The way it works is as a cell replaces itself, instead of coming back a sick, old, tired, scarred cell that it was replacing, it comes back a vibrant, young, healthy cell again. And that is how it gets rid of the scar tissue. And it goes to where your body needs it the most. Now I have a soil compound. It's highly mineralized. We take a teaspoon of this, or a heaping tablespoon, into a gallon of water. And I had my mom do this on her tomato plants the first year I started carrying it. And she'd soak it overnight, and then she'd go out, shake it up, and give each tomato plant a drink of water. She's got more tomatoes off of her plants that year than she's ever received before. She says her garden's growing because this year they bought large bags of it and have tilled it into all of the soil. And she says that she's going to have a garden that would have fed our family of 11 10 times over compared to what it was when we were trying to grow gardens when I was young. Now this is a light, comes from another inventor. His name's Dave, and it's an inopathic light. It is based on 13 rare earth elements. It has magnetics, a specific frequency of light, and it creates healing. And it helps things. It's good for fibroid tumors in women's breasts. It helps with corporal tunnel. It helps with basically every pain, unless there is something that needs a doctor's attention. Now, I've got ripped muscles and tendons here when I broke my arm, and I did it saving a little girl. If the little girl would have completed what she was going to do, she would have been headlong into a fire pit. And so I broke my arm. I'm alive. She wouldn't be. But there is something that needs a doctor's attention on this side. The bone itself is all healed up. And I not only broke it once, I broke it twice. 2 weeks later, after the first break, I was walking out of Smith's. The door shut on me, and it knocked me into the other door, and it put the first break was like this. The second break went into a T up in the knuckle, in the cast. So we had to take the cast off. It was making my hand go black, and we're using this. But there's something that needs a doctor's attention, and when that happens, the purple plates don't relieve your pain. The pain one don't relieve the pain. It tells you there's pain there. You go get medical attention. So we do still need doctors for some things. When my daughter looked at my arm today, she said, "Mom, your arm is dying." I says, if the nerve goes away, I can regrow the nerve because I did it on this arm. But I will find out here in this next week what is going on, but my arm is not looking good. But this mineral compound, Slim Sperling was using, and he uses it faithfully every day. He puts a teaspoon in his coffee in the morning, and then just keeps putting more coffee on it throughout the day. Highly mineralized. He had liver cancer, and he has a great variety of products. I do have a lot of his rings and other things, but I'm still in I know they work, I just have not got it down to be able to talk intelligently about them. But in 1 month, his liver cancer was completely gone using the soil, and he swears it was the soil. Now, I work with an Indian medicine man also, and I'm testing his cartilage cure to see if it rebuilds all the cartilage. He says after you do this for 30 days, you will be out of pain forever. So we're going to see, because they want to replace his shoulder, and they're not going there, so I'm going to do the cartilage cure. But right now, I know this works. It's called Spray Pain Away. It's an herbal compound. You spray it on, and even the naysayers are loving this stuff, because this is an actual thing that it doesn't matter who it is. It has worked on just everyone that's used it. You spray a little on, this lasts forever. I'm working with a clinic here in Utah that treat a lot of elderly people, and they are getting it from me now because they can take their patients off the hard narcotics, and the people really enjoy not having to be zoned out because of the drugs, and this does help with the pain. And they took it in, the first guy in Price that I sold it to took it up to the clinic, and my girlfriend was working with the guy, I don't even know him by name, took it to the clinic, and the clinic has contacted me. And we've talked back and forth. Now I've got to get a shipment down to them as soon as I can go back that way. But they want to use this for their elderly patients so that they don't have to take as much pain medication, and it truly works. And he's got the one gentleman that has bought it from my friend, he buys it regularly. The bottle lasts him about 2 months. Okay, and Dave also has made what we call the balancing stones. They're different, these are different colors, but I do have those that are matching. That people that drive a lot and are around vehicles a lot, it knocks your meridians out of whack. And having these in your pockets, women sometimes will put them in their bras. They do help some with pain, but it helps keep you in balance. And Ben had one in each of his pockets here, and he lost one. And he says, it made me kind of dingy. It was not, I could tell a difference that it was gone, because he wasn't balanced again. And it really helps people maintain their meridian balance, which will create healing and keep your body in a productive mode. And Dave also started building these. It's a thymus stimulator. You wear it over your thymus, this side out, and it draws orgone energy into the thymus, and instead of it curling up and dying like it does in our elderly age, it reboosts its energy, and it helps you start fighting off sicknesses better. And once the thymus starts going down or inverting, we start getting old. So this also helps you with aging. Okay. They told me I had to talk fast.
I thought you were going to take at least a half hour.
Well, you told me to talk fast.
Oh, okay. Are there any questions for Molly or I?
Yes, I do.
Okay, questions for Paul or Molly?
I can't get that.
Just going back into the feedback zone there.
Okay, yeah. Molly, are all the companies the same company, or are there different manufacturers?
I have, each one of the products are by different manufacturer, different inventors. I've got 5 inventors I'm working with, and I always look for more. I'm always looking at new products.
Are there, excuse me,
That's right, go ahead. Go ahead.
are you selling them under one name or under
yes.
individual names?
I sell them under Miss Molly Products, and they're called whatever the inventor has named them. But they don't always like to be contacted. I tell you when I'm working with Sonny Ward or whoever it is that I am working with, if they want their names to be given out. And there's just some of them that don't want contact with other people.
If I may, I had a question for Paul.
Yes.
On your training, how long does it last?
The training, if you'll hand me the black book there. This is approximately half of the pictures we currently have. And we send this to you by email. It comes out to you 10 pictures at a time. As you look at and review each picture and what the invention or discovery is, you respond that you received all these pictures. These are your questions. I respond back to you. We've had some people go through the entire set of pictures and all 197 discoveries in as little as 2 weeks. We've had other people that have stretched it out for a year. How much time do you have a day to sit down and look at pictures and study them and try to put them together?
Is there any product that comes with the $1,500?
You do get the plans for small engines, furnaces, and automotive. You get the formulas so that you don't have to contact me every time you want to put it on a different car in your family. You just, let's see, 350, this is the one I need. So we give you the information you need. We also tell you where we do have people that have already set machines up that can mass produce or just build one unit at a time. If you want to buy the exhaust pipes or the parts for any section of it, there are some places here in the United States that are already set up where you can buy the parts.
Okay,
Larry, I'm not going to get involved in sales of parts anymore because every time
Larry's
I have
right behind you. Why don't you hand the mic to
disappears.
him?
And on my products, that if they don't work for you, because everything doesn't work for everyone, I do give a complete money-back refund because there have been people that have bought the purple plates that they have not helped. And I figure that the $300 I've had to refund is very little when considering the amount of purple plates that I have sold.
Do you have a business card?
I will have some tomorrow morning. My computer was down and I just got it working again.
Okay, our next question's in the center in the back.
Yeah, I was just wanting some clarification. So this is an online $1,500 course for your GEET.
That's correct.
Kill the
and
spot.
You download the manual from your computer.
We send it to you in segments.
So you
Then
could,
you download it on your own computer.
okay, but like if you downloaded 10 pages and then an hour later you wanted 10 more,
You email me, and the next time I sit down, you say you've received them, I'll send you the next batch.
I see.
Because we know a lot of our email is intercepted. Anytime we find out that mail going to you is being intercepted, we'll use a different computer.
Okay,
Because sometimes it's not just our service.
thank you.
Okay, next questions. Any more? Raise your hands. Okay, thank you, Paul and Molly Pantone. Paul and Molly will also be back out in the exhibitors foyer tomorrow. If you have any questions, please feel free to stop by their table.